the formula, our formula is this. We go out and get number one. Number two, we are not a charity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again.
That's number two. And number three is we execute from the very start of the game to the very end of the game. That did not happen. I do not apologize about
I don't know what's going on. I have a huge echo.
No. You don't want me to go much further.
I know.
Go right ahead. Ask the question. Vernon, just it was something that I told everybody at the very.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again. It is crazy out here. Crazy out here. I am live for the first time in a while on YouTube. It is crazy out here.
Oh, now you figured it out.
Now I'm trying to figure out what's going on. It's okay though. It's okay. I got it.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, this is what I go through every Saturday. And since Jerry wanted to come out hard in the paint yesterday, I'm coming out hard. I'm giving him echoes because I know exactly how he does it to me. That means he does it on purpose.
Okay. Whatever you like. We're gonna go this route. Anyway, people. I am JT, and this is the master plan. The number to call in is 347-637-3220. I say it again, 347-637-3220 is the place to be if you want to talk to JT, the master, and that would be me. Why'd you mute yourself?
Because you have to mute me in order to get rid of one of those echoes.
Okay.
Phone.
No problem.
And you have something else going on that's giving the triple echo.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
I keep telling you, you don't listen.
You're right. This is the deal here, people. Today, I'm carrying over the conversation, or the short conversation that we had with Mr. FSP over there. And I'll tell you this. Let me put this out here. This show is sponsored by Eternal Autographs and Memorabilia by FSP. See, I got you. The number to call in, you see right down there on the screen, by Mr. FSP on Facebook. Quality memorabilia, helmets, sports cards, baseball cards, and the like, jerseys, and all kinds of sports memorabilia. Authentic signed sports memorabilia. And this is Mr. FSP. And I'm playing this as we are on YouTube. I'm playing it in the background just to see how it looks. Just to see how Mr. FSP is not looking too. I mean, come on. He's got the Washington,
we want winners.
The Washington Commanders. Oh. What can I tell you, people? You know, I'm not even going to go there. I just thought about this. I'm going to take a step back and talk about and continue talking about what I started to talk about.
Here we go.
Here we go. Exactly. People.
I bought something just to deal with your shenanigans.
You know,
here's the first thing I want to say.
Mr. F, wait a minute.
And if you are going to be negative on Easter, that is a terrible thing. And I'm going to pray that God takes care of you.
Mr. FSP, you're not taking over this show. I'm telling you right now. Don't interrupt.
Oh, don't interrupt.
And you wait a minute. And you're eating on my show? You're eating on my show.
I am. You said not to interrupt.
Let me put it this way, people. You can take the country out of some people, but you can't take the people out of the country. And that's him right there.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know that's not what he meant.
If you go to YouTube and look up Country Wayne,
he's a Cowboy fan. I don't care about Country Wayne.
Country Wayne is country.
He's also a Cowboy. Really.
Country. Country. Very unprofessional to eat on a live stream. Come on.
I mean, you be scratching your underarm and showing your hair.
People, let me tell you something, people. You know, and I can understand, and this is relates to the show I'm about to talk about.
I knew he was going to go there.
This relates to the show I'm going to talk about. Quarterbacks that are unprofessional. And
so we're going to start with Deshaun Watson, right?
And they come from the same school as this guy. It must be taught or ingrained or the water or whatever. Because unprofessional is a trade of the trait, I should say, of the.
Let's get the word right.
I'm gonna get the word trait of three individuals, two of which play in the National Football League, and a question about one of them from a comment from a fellow player, not from the same team, about one of the quarterbacks. Let me talk about Baker Mayfield. Came into the league talking a whole bunch of smack. Players and former players, and this is a fact. Players and former players said, "Take a step back, Baker. You ain't done nothing in the league. You have no. Don't even come in and talk about that." I made a comment about this when he did it, and I'm saying, red flag. And the person on my left thought I was biased, so I didn't like Baker. No, it had nothing to do with that. It's what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing has come to fruition. Mr. Baker Mayfield is a pariah right now. And that's a fact. He's a pariah. He's a pariah because let me put it this way. If you watch Draft Day with Kevin Costner talking to I can't believe I forgot his name.
Because you old and you don't remember Jack. Disrespectful.
Anyway, he talked to the linebacker, famous actor. And of course, he tweeted something on Twitter. And this is what he said. Don't do it. Teams don't like to see players that talk. And you're talking, and you're going to hurt your career by doing that. Baker talks too much. And he thinks, and I said this in the beginning, he talks too much. And Mr. FSP said, you're biased. I'm not biased. And
you're right. You are not unbiased. You are not unbiased.
Look, I call it how I see it. And it may have been a delayed for 3 years, 4 years or whatever, but it's come to fruition. There's talk that Baker Mayfield may be going to two teams. Well, two teams that need quarterbacks. No other team that needed quarterbacks wanted them. No other team that wanted them, but there's two teams that right now need a quarterback or need an upgrade in the quarterback supposedly upgrading the quarterback, and one of Seattle, and there's been no talk with Seattle, and the other one is Carolina. And this is why I say he's a pariah. When you have other players on a different team that tweet out when they hear that Baker Mayfield may be coming to the team, he gives an emphatic no. No. Meaning Robbie Anderson. Look that up. Robbie Anderson said no coming to Carolina.
First of all,
and players. Wait a minute. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is players talk, and behind the scenes, you're not seeing what's going on behind the scenes. You're not privy to talk behind the scenes. If another player from another team says no to a player that is rumored to come to his team, what player in any time that you've heard in following professional football says that? Usually, wait a minute. Usually you hear a player or players from any other team that being rumored to a quarterback coming to welcoming him or not saying anything at all. Not saying anything negative. That tells me that's a red flag. That is a huge red flag.
Okay, are you done?
No, wait a minute. No, I'm not done. Okay. You can't have. Now, what happens is this. Apparently, Baker was a problem in the locker room. Everything wasn't Baker's fault. He went on a podcast or a cast and basically said, I changed offensive coordinators. I changed coaching staff. I got hurt. And he even admitted he was up and down, consistently. And he said he was told one thing, and another thing happened. Come on, Baker.
I'm about to prove Jerry's bias.
I'm
gonna let him finish.
That's unprofessional. As a quarterback, as a leader on a team, and he was pointed out that how was he supposed to motivate millionaires? Come on, man. He talks too much and says the wrong thing when he does talk. And he can't back up what he's done on the field with his talk because he hasn't done anything. I said that when he first came into the league, and I'm saying it now. I'm not biased. This is the true fact. And the fact,
yes, you are.
And the fact is this. If you go on the major networks, coaches, players, GMs, they've all said the same thing. He talks too much. He hasn't accomplished enough, and he's been inconsistent. And that's what I've been saying ever since he came into the league. Now it's on you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me help you understand that Jerry is one of the most biased individuals in this industry. Last week, there was a player, a quarterback, who plays with Robbie Anderson, also played with him in New York, that did the exact same thing. Did Jerry start a show downing Sam Darnold? Did Jerry start talking about
what? Wait a minute. I'm not.
Did he have a show?
I'm not done yet. I'm not done.
No. You gave me. It's my turn. You gave me my turn.
You're right. I'm taking one quarterback at a time.
Okay, that's fine. You can take one quarterback at a time. But last week, you didn't touch Sam Darnold at all. and he did this before Baker, and he did all of this, the exact same thing before Baker.
Like I said,
You didn't say
I'm
nothing about Sam
taking.
Darnold.
Well,
And when you said you had two
this,
quarterbacks in the NFL
I
doing
didn't
this, and they're from the same school, I don't
last
believe Sam Darnold went to the same school as
last
Baker
week.
Mayfield.
Last
So,
week
don't even give me that.
last week was about the NFL draft. The fantasy mock draft. This week,
Again, he's biased, y'all.
this week is about
He's
quarterbacks.
biased, y'all.
This week is about quarterbacks. I got four.
No. No, I want you to understand where I'm coming from.
I got four
didn't say the
quarterbacks
show-
I need to talk about.
I didn't say the show needed to be about quarterbacks or a draft. What I'm saying is when the same situation happened with a different quarterback,
This is
you
what
did not talk
this
about
is
it at all.
this is
At all.
this is
So,
what this
even
is what
when
I
you
have.
bring up this issue
This is
of
what I have
Baker
a problem.
did this week,
This is what
you
I have
should
a
at
problem.
least compare.
This is why I have a problem with Mr. FSP.
Oh
And
my
I've
Oh
told
my- I
and
gotta
I
take my
and I've
phone.
told him this before. This is why I have a problem with Mr. FSP. This is what
Okay.
you call a defer. This is what you call a defer. Rather than talk about Baker Mayfield,
Hold on.
wait,
I
rather
didn't
than
finish my statement, but okay.
rather than talk about what I
Let me
talked
finish my
about.
statement,
Wait a
ladies
minute.
and gentlemen.
What I talked
I
about.
didn't even finish.
What I talked about with about Baker Mayfield, Mr. FSP decided to go in a different direction.
No, I did not.
So he decided to go.
I'm gonna tell you.
He
If you
decided.
listen to
He decided.
yesterday's show, at the end of the show,
Mr.
I
FSP,
laid blame.
if you
to
don't
Baker
stop
Mayfield.
talking, I'm gonna mute you. If you don't stop talking,
Oh, that's how you gonna
if
do
you
it?
don't stop talking, I'm gonna mute you.
Oh no, you're not. Oh no, you're not.
Okay, people. Like I said, this is a defer. This is a defer. This is a defer. I'm talking about Baker Mayfield, and he wants to try to bring in Sam Darnold into the equation. I told you, I'm saying, this is a show about quarterbacks. I didn't say what quarterbacks.
Is Sam Darnold not a quarterback?
This is about quarterbacks. I didn't say what quarterbacks. I said quarterbacks. And because I didn't get to the quarterback he wanted to bring up, he decided to bring it up. Not thinking this is my show and I take one quarterback at a time.
Oh my goodness.
Now, if you want to interject, feel free, but understand that I will mute you if you try to interrupt what I'm trying to come.
Now,
Okay.
let me get back to my statement.
I'll mute you again. I'll mute.
You cut me off. I didn't finish my statement.
Can I finish my statement? Since you're gonna be so evil and
If you're going to talk about Sam Darnold, I haven't gotten to that yet.
You had no plans on getting Sam Darnold because you mentioned two quarterbacks.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you, Mr. Evans. This is not your show. Okay? You're not running this show. And I'm telling you this. I will mute you. I will mute you. Okay?
I'm trying to get my statement.
Your statement is not relevant because we're talking about Baker Mayfield. You don't have anything to say about Baker Mayfield, so you're deferring, saying I'm not. So you're deferring. I can't believe this. I can't believe. You know what? It's been nice. It's been nice talking to you. It's been nice talking to you. Because the fact is, you insist on talking about and trying to run this show. It ain't gonna happen.
No, I'm not. You brought up Robbie Anderson. You brought him up, not me. And who's the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers?
That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it.
It does.
Oh,
yes, you said.
I'm talking. The reason I'm talking. Oh my God.
What you're doing is
You
trying to control the narrative.
You're pissing me off.
You're
really pissing me off. I don't want to remove you.
You brought up Robbie Anderson.
I don't remove you.
And I'm telling you, Robbie Anderson has a quarterback right now.
I'm talking.
They did the same thing.
I'm talking about.
And if Baker Mayfield is rumored to go to North Carolina to the Panthers, that means the quarterback there is relevant. Is that not the case?
Don't try to bring it in that way.
No, honest question.
Look,
if he's rumored to go to Carolina, do they not have a quarterback already there? That's a yes or no answer.
People. All right, let's move on to Kyler Murray.
See,
because
that's a diversion.
No, it's not. No, because I brought in. I was. This is what my agenda was. I should have laid it out.
His agenda is to run down Baker and Kyler. That's his agenda.
Listen to what I'm going to say, and I'm not getting flustered. I'm just saying, Mr. FSP is trying to take over the show, thinking that he well. Go along with the flow of the show. Not to try to countermand it.
I mean, if I got like Stephen A. Smith, I will. This is wild.
Okay. My thing was this. I was going to talk about the two Oklahoma quarterbacks first.
Exactly.
First. And then I was going to transition into Sam Darnold. Then I was going to bring in Deshaun Watson into the equation. 4 quarterbacks.
You said 3 quarterbacks. That's what you said. You said 3 quarterbacks at the top of the show. You didn't say 4. You said 3.
4 quarterbacks. And now it's 4 quarterbacks that I wanted to talk about.
All right. Okay.
2 of them being Oklahoma, because the reason I want to bring the 2 Oklahoma because they're tied to each other. They follow each other in college. They're good friends. They both have the same type of issues.
Nope.
They both have the same type of issues. And the issues they have, regardless if you think so or not, but it's been on national TV, it's been said, they're immature. They are immature.
Bias.
Look, you have no idea, because the fact is you listen to Total Access on the NFL Network. You listen to ESPN. It's been widely talked about, these 2 quarterbacks.
It's only 2 networks.
It's been widely talked about by these 2 networks, from former players, GMs, and current players, about both these quarterbacks. So I'm not biased. I have happened to bring it up before it's been brought up on TV. And you're gonna call me biased? Fine. But it's out there now.
No, okay, Jerry. No one ever said that either quarterback didn't have their issues. But what I'm pointing out to you and to the listeners and viewers is that you harp on the 2 quarterbacks from Oklahoma and totally gloss over the players and the quarterbacks that have done the same thing. I mean, we haven't even touched on the massage gate and anything like that, which I get you're going to get to. But just a week prior, you have the exact same issue. And speak about it not one time when it was relevant.
Let me say this.
It comes.
Let me say this. Let me say this. The most visible player on any NFL team and the most looked at player on any NFL team is the quarterback.
And why didn't we talk about Sam Darnold last week then?
Is the quarterback. Now, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Is the quarterback. So the quarterback's supposed to be the adult in the room.
Yep.
The quarterback is supposed to be the adult in the room. When you have a quarterback pointing fingers to everybody but themselves, that's not the adult in the room. That's not a responsible quarterback. That's not a responsible quarterback.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And the fact is, the two Oklahoma quarterbacks that I'm talking about are doing that.
Again, Jerry,
Are doing that.
I don't disagree with you, but where I take my aim is the fact that the quarterback that did it last week had no
Wait a minute.
interest from you.
Look, I said this. There's two quarterbacks from Oklahoma. Okay,
I got that.
I'm going to talk about them first, and then move on from that. But being as you are impatient. So you're saying you're impatient. So I need to talk about another quarterback because the fact is I'm talking about two quarterbacks from Oklahoma that are immature. And the fact is this.
You see where this
Fact is this.
You see this.
Now I'm going to talk about Kyler Murray. He had his agent put out a manifesto a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, saying that he needs to get paid, and they put an offer out there to the Cardinals.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not talking out of turn. I'm not speaking truth.
Oh gosh!
Am I speaking truth? And you notice Mr. FSP is not looking at the camera because
you know why I'm not looking at the camera? Because what you're saying isn't.
And the fact is this.
You are not.
And the fact is this.
Not being fair, but it's okay.
And there's rumors. There's rumors that Mr. Kyler Murray, who I've said before, and it's really strange that the two quarterbacks that over the times they've been in the league, I've mentioned what they aren't doing, and it's come out now. Now it's come out. Now, Mr. FSP in the past has called me biased. Now I imagine that whoever talks about him on national TV, whether it be on ESPN or on the NFL Network, is biased also. Whether it's a former GM or former players, they're biased too.
I did not say that.
Come on.
I did not say that at all.
And now he's come around. Before he's told in the past years he's called me biased. And
I still call you biased because you are.
Because the fact is he'll defend these quarterbacks no matter how flawed they are. And I understand that. He wants to be loyal. I understand that. But I call it like I see it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And the fact is this.
I'm be quiet.
I'm gonna talk to another quarterback from USC.
Wait a minute, you didn't give me a chance to reply to Kyler?
No, wait a minute. You wanted me to talk
I will keep my notes. I will keep my notes because you have done such a terrible job.
I want to talk about I want to move on because I think I made my point.
Bias point? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you want to call it bias, go right ahead.
Yeah.
That's because
again, your opinion.
You can't handle the truth. Tom, I'm going to talk to Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth.
But I think Jack Nicholson was the one that was the one on trial and the one that got convicted. And Tom Cruise was the prosecutor. I'll be Tom Cruise.
But before he said, you can't handle the truth. Now you're somewhat coming around and saying that you admit that both these quarterbacks have some big time flaws. Big time flaus.
Oh gosh, ladies and gentlemen.
Now I'm going to a USC quarterback, formerly of the Jets. Now he's with the Carolina Panthers. Was interviewed and said he said he was a good quarterback.
That ain't all he said. Don't shorten it now. Don't shorten it now. Because he said the same thing that my boy Baker said. Exactly. Different coordinators, different teams, different coaches. Make sure you put it all
Wait,
in
wait,
there.
wait, I'm gonna put it on there. Just relax.
Okay.
He made this, Mr. FSP just brought it out. I don't need it reiterated or regurgitated
Oh.
because he did
Because
bring
you're
it
not
up.
going to say it.
No, he said the same excuses about coaching and coordinators and what like in his career. But let me put it this way:
There's a but.
if you're a good quarterback, you're supposed to make your teammates, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, better. You're supposed to make them better if you're a very good quarterback. That's what a 3-time MVP and Aaron Rodgers does. That's what Tom Brady does. That's what Matthew Stafford does. Just to name a few. If you're a very good quarterback, you make the players around you better. You inspire defense better. The 3 quarterbacks I just got finished talking about don't do that. Have immaturity issues. That's what some of these problems of these quarterbacks.
Oh, you didn't even talk about Sam Darnold. You just said one line and it was over. You spent 20 minutes bashing Baker. Okay. But there's no bias.
There's no bias. I have no bias.
Okay.
Look.
All right.
I let me put it this way. When I was a Houston Texans fan, when I was a Jet fan, I said that either my team or the quarterback was trash. Matt Schaub, when he was with the Texans, was trash. Various quarterbacks that recently were with the Jets were trash. I didn't hide from that. I called it like I see it. A good quarterback makes the team better, inspires the defense because they know they have a good quarterback that's going to give them a chance to win. Plain and simple. That's what I did not see in those 3 quarterbacks I just named. And they don't make their teammates better. It has nothing to do with any kind of bias. It has nothing to do with where they come from. It's what they can do on the field and what they say off the field. That's just important. That's just as important. Because players listen to what their leader says.
I'm going to hook you up.
Players listen to what their leader said. Now, Mr. FSP is
Here's Baker right here. Just listen.
Is very disrespectful.
Love to show up somebody's cubicle and just boo them.
I can't hear that. That's an echo. I can't hear that. Let me put it this way. The things that Mr. FSP is doing now, I do not do. I was
just giving you the Baker quote.
I'm about to get rid of him because the fact is he's very disrespectful.
I was giving you the quote so you could quote it correctly.
Look, Vic, I'm not doing half the things you're doing on this show.
I know you just interrupt me every 5 words.
Not even close. Not even close.
Look at that yesterday's show.
So you can play it off. You can play it off and whatever, but I don't appreciate it. I tell you that right now. I don't appreciate it.
You do it to me. Every 5 words. Every 5 words you interrupt.
Let me talk about, like I said, Mr. Sam Darnold. Has not inspired his team. Has played very badly. And because of that, because Matt Rule and company pounded the table to get a trade to acquire Sam Darnold and pumped him up before he got to Carolina. Matt Rule's job's on the line because the poor play of Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold said, I'm a good quarterback. I don't know where he got that from. Because if he won't be being truthful, he's got to watch the freaking film and make best out of a situation. And he's not that guy. I didn't think he was that guy in New York. And he's carried it over into Carolina. And like I said, if you don't have a good foundation when you first come into the league, the bad foundation follows you, and it's followed him, and he's done the same thing he did in New York, in Carolina. Now, Mr. FSP is not paying attention
I
because
am paying
I am
attention.
paying attention.
yeah. Well, let me put it this way: when you have a co-host that's looking the other way,
Oh, I know.
meaning
No.
he's disinterested in what's going on,
Oh my
and
goodness.
only interested when he starts talking, when he looks into the camera, because
Hold on. I
when
know
you
you are not saying that.
when you don't look into the camera, and when you're looking away, that shows disinterest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is why on the FSP show, Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, when I asked Jerry to look at the camera, and instead of looking at the monitor, he continues to look at the monitor. He adjusts the camera instead of moving his face towards the monitor. So I mean towards the camera. So I know exactly how Jerry feels.
You don't see me
I'm
look.
glad he said
You do
that.
not see me looking away. You
Oh
don't.
my God. The camera's here. You are this way, looking at the monitor instead of the camera. But I will address the camera. What
Anyway,
is your question?
I don't want to get in, I don't want to get into this fight. I can see this. You're not going
I
to
just
agree.
asked what the
That's okay.
question was.
That's all right.
Because you were talking about Sam
People,
Darnold.
you
You didn't
people,
ask the question.
people,
You were talking about Sam Darnold.
you can see what's going on.
No.
You can see obviously what's going on because it's on video.
Yes.
You can see what's going on.
I'm asking what is the question? Because you were talking about Sam Darnold and his inability to be a good leader.
Now,
And how Matt Rule's job is on the line.
let's move on to the fourth.
What is the question?
Let's
You
move,
never asked the question.
let's move on to the next quarterback I want to talk about.
You didn't even ask the question.
I don't have a question now. I was talking, and once you hear the host talking, the co-host is supposed to not look away. It's supposed to pay attention, and looking away shows disinterest. Looking away shows disinterest.
I mean, you do it all the time. We can look at yesterday's show. I mean, I told you.
You can't justify it, but that's okay.
I'm not justifying it.
Yeah. All right, that's all right.
I'm just saying you did the same thing. So if you're gonna
The next time I do a broadcast, people, I may be doing it alone. I don't know, because I'm gonna.
He doesn't like his own medicine.
I don't want to.
He doesn't like his own medicine. That's all. But if you want me to comment about Sam Darnold, ask me to comment about Sam Darnold because I was ready. I was waiting for you to finish.
Okay, talk to me about Sam Darnold.
Okay. All right. So Sam Darnold is a player that does not understand where he is in his career. I'm not gonna trash talk him or anything like that, like Jerry did of Baker Mayfield or Kyler. I'm gonna say that Sam Darnold is a player that strongly believes in his ability. And when you go on air, not once but twice, and claim that you are still a good quarterback and that you are the leader of a team and things of that nature. See, look, he's playing with the camera right now. It's all about being disrespectful. He ain't even in the frame. But when you talk about his ability to lead a team and Robbie Anderson came out, no, don't bring Baker. You haven't been playing with anybody much better than Baker, Mr. Anderson. So what I can say about that is Darnold did well when TMC was doing well. The receiving core was doing well when CMC was doing well. That is Darnold's saving grace. It's also his what do you call the explanation for his success. Any quarterback with a good running game can do well because teams will key on the running game. That means that the one-on-ones may be more often on the outside, and you don't have to give DJ Moore 150 targets. You can throw Rob Anderson a few targets. That's why, Robbie, you don't want Baker, but how many targets did you get last year with Sam Darnold? And then all the other quarterbacks that were there. All I'm saying is this. Sam Darnold is no better and no worse than Baker Mayfield. So whether Carolina goes against Baker or sticks with Sam Darnold, the results are the same. Unless you have a strong running game for either one of those quarterbacks, you're gonna have the same result. And it's not going to be the best result.
Wait,
in reference to what Jerry said about Baker Mayfield, it just so happened that the video blog podcast thing was playing when he was talking, and I was trying to show you exactly what he said. And the way he said it, words have meaning and context have meaning. It wasn't in a condescending way. However, Baker did make those comments, which were not the best. And if you listen to yesterday's show, towards the end of the show, I give Baker my thoughts on his behavior. I go fair and balanced. I'm not Fox News, unlike somebody, but I try to keep it fair and balanced. So
let me ask you a question here.
I don't like Sam Darnold any more than I like Baker.
Let me ask you this question here. Did you not up until this time when all this came out in the national media, did you not defend Baker and say I was biased?
I defend Baker regardless, and you are biased. You are. Up until now, this point today, you have never, ever used the comparison of any other quarterback other than Kyler Murray to Baker when other quarterbacks were doing exactly. You didn't even talk about what
I didn't need to. I didn't
what
need
Deshaun Watson was doing and is doing and could face.
Wait a minute. We'll get to Deshaun Watson in a minute. What I saw, I didn't need to compare Baker to anything because the fact is there was so much hype around him, including you.
But there wasn't around Sam Darnold or any other quarterback that came out.
Hyping him up, and I was on the other side. Here we go, looking the other way. As soon as you're not talking,
I'm listening to you. Where was Rosen? Did you talk about Rosen, another quarterback in that same draft? That was a complete bust.
I've talked about Drew Rosen before. That he was trash. Damn right I talked about it. He was trash.
You didn't spend a whole show or dedicate a show to him.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
Stop.
You didn't go on every other show.
Come on, man. Come on. Wham. Because I didn't dedicate a show to him? Come on. Really? Look, and I'm telling you, when you're not talking to me, you're looking away. And that's disrespectful.
It's the same thing you do.
When you're not talking, you're looking away, and that's disrespectful.
It's the same thing you're doing. Like right now, I'm trying to see what's coming across the ticker because there's breaking news. I try to keep current.
Let me tell you something. When I'm in the show, I'm in the show. I'm not looking away and paying attention to something else.
What you do is this: you sit back and you play with your underarm pits, and you're like then you're looking this way.
Like I said, if you're not talking, you're not looking into the camera. You're looking away, and that's disrespectful. But that's okay.
I don't have to look at the camera.
Yeah, you do. You're on this show. You got to look at the camera.
Oh, just like you need to look at the camera every time you're not talking. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that.
If I look away It's for a brief time. I don't look away and stay away.
No,
Until-
you're
until-
like this.
until
The
my-
camera's here.
until my
You're like this, looking at the monitor.
until my time to talk. I don't look away like I'm disinterested and then start talking when it's my turn. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Come on.
You are so hateful today. It's Easter. Have a good
I tell you what.
It's
Mr. F,
Easter.
I tell you what.
He has risen.
I tell you what, Mr. FSP. You can play them games if you want. Okay? You can play them games if you want. That only person that matters is Mr. FSP. But that's okay.
I didn't say that.
That's
I
okay.
didn't say that.
That's okay.
I'm just giving you what you give.
People, I'm gonna cut this show short. Because I've had it.
Why are you not gonna talk about Deshaun?
I've had it.
Why
I've
are you
had
not talking about Deshaun?
I've had it. I've had it. I've had it.
Deshaun Watson is
I've
on
had
the
it.
list.
I've had it.
Oh, it's because he's your dog. Well, Cleveland Brown dog.
All right, people. It's been a pleasure. Next week is another 10 a.m. show. I may do StreamYard. I may not. I may do it on my,
Can't take the
I
truth.
may do it on my own. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens with StreamYard. It's been real. I apologized for my co-host
Oh,
and his behavior
Skip. No, you didn't, Skip.
and his behavior. Very unprofessional.
Oh my God! I know you are not talking.
Very
You're not even looking at the camera yourself. You're not even looking at the camera yourself.
Very unprofessional.
When are you gonna look at the camera?
Very unprofessional. But
now you're looking at the camera.
That's it's probably one of the worst shows I've done, and probably one of the worst times my co-host has not been a decent co-host.
Oh my goodness! I've been listening to
Now,
you. I've been responding.
now, this is what you should have been doing in the first place, looking in the camera. But it seems like the only time you look in the camera is when you want to talk. And
Listen, Linda.
Look,
I'm listening to you. You speak about what you want to speak about. I don't have to. We're looking at the camera. You're not even looking at the camera when you're talking. You're looking off to the side when you're talking.
I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking.
You're not even looking at the camera right now. I can see your eyes. Your eyes are going to your left. They're not straight now. Oh yeah, now they're straight. Yeah. See. So if you're not looking at the camera,
I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at the camera.
Take your glasses off so people can see. I can see.
This is not looking at the camera. This is
my
not
goodness.
looking at the camera.
Ladies and gentlemen
looking
of
at
the jury, I want y'all to watch this on YouTube. I want you to watch how Jerry talks about looking at the camera, but does not look at the camera. He is so, oh my God. Anyway, bottom line in front is this. We were supposed to be talking about Deshaun Watson, but when we get to him, he wants to cut the show short. Biased again. I understand. I talked about Sam Darnold. I look at him. He hit the button. Well, now he hit the boo button because he don't want to talk about his boy. I see how it goes. Don't even talk. You ain't even looking at me. Are you looking at the camera while I'm talking? No, you're not. You're not looking at while I'm talking. See, look at you. You just hitting buttons.
All right, people.
But I'm the professional. He's hitting buttons, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been real. I apologize. Maybe next week we'll have a better show. I didn't really mean to go back and forth bantering about whether we should be paying attention to what we're doing versus looking the other way. You look at a future podcast from any of these podcasters that are on YouTube, and they look at the camera.
I was waiting on you to continue to look at the camera.
And they look at the camera.
Well, when are you going to do it?
And they look at the camera,
I'm
regardless.
waiting on you. When you going to do it?
Regardless if they're not talking or not, they're looking at the camera, paying attention to what's being said.
And please look at Jerry as well, because he does not. Just look at him. Right now, he is. Well, even his eyes cut to the left. They cut to the left. They ain't looking straight. Now they went to the right. See?
All right, people. I'm out of here. I've had enough.
He can't deal with his own.
10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the master plan every Sunday morning. Be there, and I appreciate you listening and putting up with what took place today. Hopefully, hopefully we'll have a better show next week. But until then, see ya.
Terrible. Charles Barkley, terrible.
How do you do that?